And we're back. Here we go. All right, so we're working on number 11 next. Just kind of working through the odds here. So working through imaginary numbers in unit 1.5. We're working through imaginary numbers as our main part of our lesson. And so don't forget that imaginary, so the square root of a -1 is actually I, or jai, as Mrs. Barney used to call it. And so if you square that, you get the -1 back again. So I squared is equal to -1. Back again. Nice. So let's give that a try. So we have 9 plus 3i cubed, which is the same as I squared times I. Interesting. Let's go and distribute it through first. Let's distribute it through first. So 3i cubed times 7 is 21i cubed. 3i cubed times -2i is a -6i to the 4th power, right? So that's important because we have 9 plus 21, and we have I squared, technically I squared, times I, -6 times I squared times I squared. So I went and took that 4 and I broke it into 2 and 2. And the reason why is I squared is it -1? Remember we squared I, so I squared is a -1. So that's going to be a -1 times a -1. Just a +1. And -6 times +1 is just a -6. That part's done. I squared again is a -1. So that's going to change it to be 9 minus, because -1 times I times 21 is a -21i. And then we have our -6. And so 9 minus 6 is 3. So we get 3 minus 21i. Let's go. So that's number 11. That's number 11. That's what we're working on there. That's number 11. Okay, so then we're going to number 13. So don't forget, you got to break these down, okay? Number 12, break it down. And try to break it down into a perfect square. 3 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. That'd be a perfect square. So 25 times 3 is 75. And then 80 breaks down into what? Maybe 10 times 8, that could be good. So do something like that, and then you're still square rooting. Each individual thing. Don't forget to break it down more. So keep on going for number 12. That's a hint to remind you to choose perfect squares. Okay. So we're going to distribute the 3 through first. So we get 12 radical 2. 15. 3 times 5 is 15. And then that is technically, you guys, that is technically a -1. Right. Technically, there's a visible -1 there. That's a -1 times 4, and they're both square rooted. And so that just becomes an I, and then the square root of 4 becomes a 2. So that's going to be a plus 30i. So then we still have our 12 radical 2, and so that'll just be our answer because you cannot combine those anymore. Can't combine those anymore. So we'll jump to 15 now. Whoa. So now we have 2 radical 50 plus 12 radical 8. The question is, can anything come out? Well, we know 50 breaks down into what? What's a perfect square? I was going to say 5 times 10, but what about a perfect square? 25 is a perfect square, and 25 times 2 is 50. So they're both going to still be radicals, but they're going to be in the separate houses, right? They're going to be in separate radicals. Hey, I missed you. How are you doing? Don't forget to pause me. So don't forget to pause Newbold, and we'll help you there. Don't forget to pause Newbold. Try it on your own. Okay, so then we bring down the 2, and the square root of 25 is 5. And 5 times 2 is 10, so we get 10 radical 2. On here, we get, 4 times 2 is 8. Don't forget, they're still being square rooted. And if you put them back together, that's radical 8. But we're trying to break it down. And so the square root of 4 is 2. Bring down to 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So we get 24 radical 2. Now the question is, can we combine those together? Yes, we can. And radical 2 comes along for the ride. So 10 plus 24 is 34. So we get 34 radical 2 as our answer. Can we check this? Will it actually work with the calculator? Can we check and see if we did it right? Let's give it a try. So we're going to go 2, right? So we got 2 radical 50 plus 12 times radical 8. Whoa, too many radicals. I forgot to close the radicals. Sorry. So you have to do don't forget to do a right arrow. So 2 radical 50, right arrow plus 12 times radical 8. And so we get 48.808, 3 2 6 1 1 2. And the reduced form of that is what? 34 times radical 2. It's the same answer. That means we did it right. Woo! Good job. I'm not as loud as those other students helping me on our first video. But that's still right. I'm excited. So there's number 15. Number 17. So we got to break it down. Go, break it down. 16 breaks down into 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4. Pause me. Try it on your own. 54 breaks down into 9 times 6, which breaks down into 3 times 3 times 3 times 6. 3 times 3 is 9, and 6 breaks down into 3 times 2. Let's go! So remember, it's a group of 3 2's that you need to pull out of the cube roots. So we're going to pull a 2 out, and what's left is the cube root of 2, okay? Now, if you don't believe us, you can prove it. Math, there actually is a cube root. There it is. So we have the cube root of 16, which is the same as 2 times the cube root of 2. Simplified. So make sure to simplify and pull everything out of the cube root, out of the square root, pull it out. That's reduced there, that's reduced there. Now we have 3 of these 3's that we can pull out of the cube root, so put it here. And only one of them comes out, and 3 times 3 is 9. So we have a 9 now, and we still have left a cube root. So that's going to be the cube root of 2. And 2 plus 9 is 11. And so since we have a cube root of 2, that's the same thing, same base, same root. And so we can that just comes along for the ride. And so 9 plus 2 is 11, and we get the cube root of 2. So 11 cube root of 2, let's go. And so make sure you keep on. Oh, we still have more time. We're doing good. We'll go to number 19. Try 19 on your own first. Try it on your own first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? New ball! Okay, so since we're doing the 4th root, so one of those is going to cross out and come out as an x. And another one is going to cross out and come out as an x. So this becomes, right, this guy right here, becomes x squared. And on this side, we have 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 4. There we go. And so because 4 times 4 is 16, so that works. Okay, so one of those, cross it out, one of those is going to come out. What? Our final answer is just 2x squared? Nice. So 2x squared is our answer there. Number 19. 20, tricky now. So if you look back in your notes, you're going to notice that this does not factor out anymore, and because of the plus symbol, these two are connected, right? Because could have worked, right? But because of the plus symbol, cannot pull out anything. And so our answer for number 20 is just going to be that. Right? And I just threw that in there because that just looks like a super tricky one. Yeah, so that was a fair answer. Nothing comes out, basically, okay? Yeah, so basically, nothing comes out. Nothing comes out there. Nothing comes out. That's just our answer. That's just our answer. If it was a minus, you still maybe. Yeah, so if it was like an x to the 8th power minus 16, that's a different story. That's a different story. Because that could be a difference of cubes. But this is plus, but it could factor out more into like x4, x4. But we're not going to factor that because it's not, yeah, it's not a minus symbol, it's a plus symbol. So cannot pull anything out. Number 21. Okay, so we're actually going to times those, see if that makes a difference or not. Let's give that a try. So let's see here, because they're both on the square roots. So we have 10 times 4, and we also have 3 times 30. And can we break it down more? Can we break it down more? So let's take a look there. So let's see, so 10, well 10 break down into 2 and 5, so nothing's going to come out there. Ooh, but the square root of 4 is definitely 2, so that could come out. So we have a 2 over 1 so far, times, radical 10 over 30 doesn't really do anything, and this has now gone away, so that's a 1 over 30. But maybe, let's take a look. 10 times 1 is a 10, and 3 times 30 is 90. Maybe that 90 could break down into 9 times 10. Ooh, we like that. 9 times 10. And that means the 10's cancel. 10 divided by 10 is a 1. So we're just left with 1 over the square root of 9, because that actually does have a 1 technically next to it. And then that breaks down into 3 times 3. Whoa! So that means that 1 3 will come out. So we're going to end up with 10 times 1 over 3, which is 2/3. That's over 1, multiply straight across, we get 2/3. And if you're not sure, we can double check with our calculator. So we're going to go ahead and do the square root of, so 10 divided by 3, right arrow, times the square root of 4 divided by 30. Check your answer. Yeah, guess what that is? 2/3. We did it right. Woo! So stay tuned and watch my next video. Thanks for watching.